Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by NordVPN. If you're online doing whatever you're doing, it is none of my business. I really want to know what you're doing. It might be something weird, but even if it is, who knows what it is? And it's none of my business. And it might not even be weird. It's just something that you like that I think is really corny. But I wouldn't know it if you just didn't. Just go online without using NordVPN. How many times do I have to say it? Use it, my friends. Guess what, too? Users can get a huge discount with the purchase of a 2-year plan plus 4 months free. And that's that NordVPN deal, baby. Exclusive. Grab the NordVPN deal now. That's at nordvpn.com/geniusbrain and get an extra subscription time. Try it risk-free now with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring our show. Genius Brain listeners, my lovely, lovely brain farts. This podcast is brought to you by Fume. If you don't know what Fume is, well, let me tell you. We're talking about our sponsored people who sponsors us, Fume, and they look at the problem of bad habits in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative award-winning flavor air device that does just that. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. I love the taste of it. It's actually really freaking good. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and use code GENIUS to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use code GENIUS to save an additional 10% off your order today.
What do you listen to, man?
I listen to all the things. Like
Just raise silence in his car, dude.
I know. You turn on the music. Hey, don't do that.
He just goes home and turns off like a robot. Just click, click.
Unplug.
I have a show. Yeah. I have a show later? Okay.
I would like to be interested in things too.
I want you to rap one song for me.
Okay, you don't think that I would also like to know the lyrics? You don't think I try to memorize some lyrics? You don't think, man? You don't think I Googled Eminem lyrics and try to memorize it?
I want you to rap at least one song.
Okay.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We have the smoking addict, Jason Cheney, and we have the long dong, Patricio O'Reilly, dude. Why do you still smoke cigarettes? It's not cool anymore.
Dude, it's the coolest, man.
Really? In what way?
So when you smoke it, you're like, you know?
I feel like you're the only person that still smokes cigarettes.
Yeah, because it's
When
really
did you wait?
cool.
Did you start that recently?
No, I always went on and off because I always loved it. Yeah. I always loved smoking cigarettes since I was pretty young because I grew up with my grandfather and my uncle, and they both smoked cigarettes. And I always loved it. Like,
It sounds like an acceptance speech for cigarette smoking, you know? Started with my uncles and
Marlboro, please fucking sponsor this guy.
I always loved it.
When I smoke cigarettes, I feel like I'm loved.
it makes me feel calm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just the nicotine. It feels good. You're not as like, do you know what I mean? Your butt is not jiggling when you smoke a cigarette.
Wait, so when you don't smoke a cigarette, your ass just jiggles all the time?
Jiggly's
Yeah,
just
the
vibrating.
jiggles and your body feels like there's butterflies.
So you're a straight nicotine addict then?
I am. I am.
How many cigarettes do you smoke a day?
Not that many, like 3 to 7.
3 to 7.
A day?
Yeah.
That's a lot, isn't it? Or is that, I don't know. I've never smoked a
When
cigarette.
people
feel like
say they smoke
7's a
pack,
lot.
7 is a lot. Like
3
7's
seems
the
like
maximum
okay.
that I'll go. 7
7 seems like a
eight,
decent amount. How much are in a pack?
20.
20? Okay, yeah. So 7 seems
Better
decent.
reduce that down,
I
man.
know. I'm trying to. The longest I never smoked was 2 years.
That's
And
great.
that's what I've said. And I love, but I had to stretch every night, and I still stretch every night. Like I feel anxious. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like a demon
So
choking my neck like this.
demon.
A demon. Do you want to know why? It's because you're addicted.
I know, but for 2 years I stopped and I didn't, you know what I mean?
I feel the same way when I don't have bread or pasta or rice.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels like a demon.
Demon.
Yeah,
Demon.
demon.
Demon. You should microdose shrooms. Why don't you try microdosing shrooms?
I really want to.
Because that just take like a little nibble.
Yeah.
But every time I've done that, it just feels like you feel like yourself completely, but just the stress, any kind of anxiety you feel
Gone.
is just gone. And you
I
just
think I'm
feel
gonna do that,
pleasant.
man.
You just feel nice.
I really do want to try it, man. Everybody that I know that has taken it has said great things about it.
It's phenomenal.
right? And they don't do it, constantly.
Yeah.
But they did it during very specific times of their life where it helped them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm like, I wonder what happened to me if I took some shrooms.
We should do it together.
We should. I fucking love it, dude.
But you can't make fun of me.
What are you going to do is the question.
No, but because I'm gonna trip out and I'm gonna be anxious like weed. I'm not gonna have a good time.
That's what I was afraid of too, because like I can't handle weed, so I never did
Yeah.
shrooms because I was like I can't take
That's what I'm
weed, like
saying.
I'm gonna shit my pants
Yeah.
on shrooms. But then I took shrooms and I just completely different. Like I just felt super happy. Like it kind of for me feels like you're drunk, kind of like that drunk feeling, but not sloppy. Like I don't feel sloppy.
What?
I feel like I feel silly, but
Yeah.
not like how when you're drunk and you're like whoa shit, and you'll like even like do something like oh that's fucking sloppy. I never felt like that. I just felt like happy, goofy, silly. And just like really feeling things, like really like you feel. That's why I think it's therapeutic, because like I would have thoughts or something and like say most of the thoughts I had were good,
But you're dead inside.
but I'm dead inside. Yeah, but it woke that shit up, dude. It's
But
good.
what if I already feel stuff and then I do shrooms? Now I'm like extra high. And
No,
now-
but it's because you work through it. You like kind of like, so what happened is like I would have a thought that would make me not sad, but like kind of a tougher thought. And then I would just sit there with it and then actually think about it and then feel it and then be like, oh, okay, cool. It was kind of like really addressing something and then be like, and it would just go away. And I'd be like, okay, now I can just be goofy again.
yeah,
It's
but,
nice.
But you still out here having orgies, man.
What's wrong with an orgy, dude?
Okay.
When's the last time you took
Robust.
shrooms?
Probably like 2 months ago.
Oh,
Probably like 2 months ago. I went to Joshua Tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you saw them stars?
I saw them, dude. We were in a jacuzzi. I sat in the tub for like 4 hours straight. Body pruny as shit, dude.
What?
I came out looking like a goddamn raisin, dude. My whole body was just sagging. Like,
And you enjoyed it very much.
I loved it. Had a great time.
See, I
So
got
happy.
to try this stuff out, man. Like, I don't typically like hallucinogenics or like things that kind of like fuck with my head too much.
Yeah.
That's why, like with weed, I just take it before I sleep. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never like day smoking at all. It has a very specific purpose of helping me sleep. But there's like, listen, if I don't have anything that I'm doing, and and I want a psychedelic time, why not nibble on a little stem? And see, Mike Tyson does it.
It's
But
the,
that guy's kind of crazy too.
dude, take baby steps, because like if you do the micro, you'll realize like a micro is you feel like you just feel good. Like
Yeah.
there's no actual change. Like I don't feel any changes. I just feel like it seems like what antidepressants are supposed to do, what they claim to do, is what a microdose of shrooms does.
Wow.
It just feels like I just feel nice. Like
Yeah.
That's
I don't
really-
feel like I'm high at all. I don't feel crazy. I'm just feel nice, pleasant. Like oh, things are cool, and I'm just happy.
Yeah, a buddy of mine who started doing shrooms, he was talking about how it kind of helped him figure out a lot of the insecurities that he had about himself that he never like openly faced, right? So like he had a lot of issues with like his family, his personal life, his personal relationships, his divorce and everything else. And then when he started like doing shrooms, it kind of allowed him to kind of face all these things he hated about himself.
100%.
And like I was like, dude, that's like some stuff that a lot of people need. You know?
Yeah.
And, like,
you
in
need
the-
that.
Nah, I'm fine.
I'm
I'm
good,
just
dude.
joking. But who would you do it with?
Well, I think I don't know. I would just have to be in a comfortable space, right? Because I have no inclination right now to do it.
Yeah.
But like maybe one day I'll be calling you guys up. Hey, let's try some shrooms.
Let's do it, dude.
Because I don't mind. Like I said, like so far talking to most people about it that I know, they've all used it in a control setting with other people, and they've used it like once or twice, and it said it helped them. I'm like, oh, why the fuck not, man? Like, because I know for other people who smoke, it is a dirty, filthy habit that kills them on the insides, and it's a habit that their children will pick up.
I don't want it. I go away.
Oh, they'll smell it on you. They'll see it. Daddy, what is that cancer stick in your mouth? Why do you smoke that? Don't you love me?
Yeah, I go, okay, bye.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay, bye.
Absentee Asian father, dude.
I'm gonna get a pack of cigarettes, baby. I'll see you in 30 years.
Oh my God.
You're one of those dads, huh, dude.
Don't
see you in
talk
20
back
years,
to
baby.
daddy or you're grounded forever.
Damn, isn't that story crazy? That's happened so many times that's like a thing that we all just
I know,
understand
what
now.
the fuck,
The
bro?
old, I'm gonna go get a pack of cigarettes
Yeah,
line.
that's crazy, man.
See you in 50 years.
People just be I was talking to my buddy about this and we were making jokes, but when I was a kid, I forgot how we got to this joke, but there was essentially like certain like action figures, I call them, in your life, right? Like universal truths. So we were talking about this, like, hey, did you ever have like a sticky kid in high school? It's like when people say sticky kid, they usually can picture that one kid that was always eating candy, that had sticky fingers on his hands, a wife beater that was always stained. And we had a couple of those dudes, right? And so that led to this conversation. I don't know why I brought this up, but I remember I beat up this foster kid. And like, hold on a second.
What?
Hold on a second.
You don't have a dad?
No. Let me explain this, all right?
Drugs in your family?
I'm a kid too. I don't know what a foster kid is. You know what I'm saying? But where I live across the street, there was a lady who was a foster parent, and he lived over there. This kid was a fucking asshole. So he would like throw food at me all the time, which I appreciated. It was delicious. No, I'm mad at you because you're not throwing it in my mouth. No, but he would like throw food at me. He would do that shit like the flat tire thing where he would like, fuck up your shoes.
That's annoying shit.
And so I got so fucking mad one time. I just snapped. He kept throwing shit at me in the cafeteria, and I just started wailing on him in the cafeteria. He started crying. It was a whole big deal. And then I just remember I was telling my friend this. He goes, wait, you beat up a foster kid? I was like, we were the same age.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like me as an older, we were the same age. I don't know what foster kids are. I just think everybody's living in a house together.
Yeah, right.
And so, like, he started making me feel bad. But I was like, wait, this kid was a jackass to me, though. Like, he would bully me every fucking day until I just snapped. Well, connecting that story, I remember out of nowhere, he was just gone. And then his dad popped up, apparently, from, this is what the lady across the street told me. It's like, oh, his actually dad came back and he came to get him. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy just pops up out of fucking nowhere, disappeared out of his life when he was a kid. And then when he's 9 years old, he's just like, I'm your father. And then he just takes him.
That's crazy.
Oh.
How fucking weird. And I remember that kid was just like gone. I never saw him again. But it's like dad who just appeared out of nowhere to fucking pick them up.
That's wild.
He's one of those cigarette dads. Like he just left and came back. He goes, now I want to be a dad. It's
now
like,
I'm ready.
that's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
That
dude.
hurts, man.
Just to drive away.
How come
Yeah.
your dad didn't leave you?
He loves me.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude.
You know, I was talking to some friends about. I think it's really normal for like Asian families to like the kid live with their grandparents until older. That's like a normal thing, but it's not really in like the white culture.
I wouldn't know. I don't know too many white people, but like I know that one of my friends, we just hung out recently. She told me that when she was a couple of years old, she lived with her grandma for a couple of years, and she doesn't remember too much of it. But at the time, like her parents couldn't afford to take care of 3 kids, so they put one kid with the grandma in San Francisco. And then the parents took care of the other 2 kids. And then when the dad finally got a better job, the mom could afford to stay at home. They brought the other kids, so she didn't stay with the 2 siblings for the first 2 years of her life.
Wow.
And then those 2 siblings didn't really know her. And then her middle sibling looked at her. He said, I remember the first thing she said to me. She looks at me and she goes, nobody wants you here. You're adopted.
Oh my god.
Oh
dude.
my god.
Kids are fucking brutal, dude.
So fucking mean,
Kids are
dude.
mean, dude.
They were mean as shit. But that happens a lot. Like they call them, you know, we mentioned before, like parachute babies, where parents will just drop off their kid in the States and they never see them. Damn. At all. Like my buddy told me this story where he had a friend, I think he was Taiwanese. His dad was very, very rich. Obviously gets a citizenship here or whatnot. His mom lives here and they hire a nanny, a Mexican nanny. That dude doesn't speak any Taiwanese Mandarin, only speaks Spanish and English, right? Later on, when he was in his 20s, his mom died. Doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't shed a single fucking tear. His nanny dies a few years later after that. Ruins him. Fucking wrecked because it was like his mom. Because his mom was there, but she just kind of had the nanny do everything. And every now and then, she wouldn't take him to school, do anything. She was just there shopping, doing whatever. But it's like fucking nuts too, where this fucking Asian dude fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I see it in South Pass all the time.
Yeah, little white kids.
Right?
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
All the time.
I see like these Asian and white kids, and then I see this like random like Mexican nanny, mija, mija.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
somebody explained to me those are the nannies.
Yeah, they'll speak to him in full Spanish. Vamos a comer, and the kid's like, okay. And he like runs over there, some white kid with blonde cut. Like, what the fuck, dude? And
These little kids
Esmeralda
speak
takes
Spanish.
him to fucking go eat. Yeah, perfect. The nannies are in there, dude. The nannies are in
100%.
there. Yeah, you get bonds with the nannies for sure.
They're like eating Mexican food. They know everything. Their whole life they grow up with that food.
Yeah.
It's trippy as fuck. You know, South Pass people have a lot of fucking money. And obviously if they're working like high paying jobs, they're out there, you know, doing whatever the fuck they're doing. Somebody got to take care of the kids. And that's where the nanny comes in. And they have like this really, it's weird because they have almost, it's like a mom-child bond.
Yeah.
It's not like that's the nanny. It's almost like that's my mom.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're picking them, holding them, they're crying, asking to be picked up by the nanny.
Yeah.
Trippy as fuck.
Nanny
dude.
takes them to school, picks them up from school. I've seen that a bunch too.
Breakfast,
Like,
lunch, dinner.
everything. Yeah, they're like their moms.
But what's crazy is that the nanny probably has a family too. It's just that now she's here trying to make money for the thing, and then now is like this is the kid also like that.
Well, I wonder too, like, does this nanny also not have kids of her own? Because she lives at the house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she probably does, but she's taking care of that family, but adopting another family. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, and then
probably.
she has a white nanny.
She has a white
living in
nanny.
her
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Teaching them white.
Yeah, teaching them the white. Teaching them the white.
Yeah.
The what?
Their Mexican babies just speak English. That's it.
Yeah, when you go to a Starbucks,
Where's
make sure the
loafers?
drink is complicated.
Yeah.
And nobody can make it. And then when they do it wrong, you scream at them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I get it, white culture.
White culture.
Amazing, dude.
Wear boat shoes.
Yeah, but people wanted us to talk about the subject. It's probably way past. But did you guys grow up listening to Tupac?
Yes, of course.
You did in Taiwan?
No, I lied. I lied.
Dog, you said that so fast.
Yeah, I wanted to assimilate.
It was assimilate. Ding, 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 ding,
Thank you.
ding. Hey, nice.
Good set.
Yeah, good set, man. Good
you,
set.
man.
Inspirational
Good set.
stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to.
You didn't listen to Tupac growing up?
No, I did not. The first like rap, hip hop that I heard was 50 Cent.
Oh, that's super late.
Wow.
Yeah, the first was 8th grade. Yeah, but I loved it. But Tupac, I later learned about him and the history. Yeah, a little bit.
Sing your favorite, rap your favorite Tupac song.
That's pretty good.
That's
man.
pretty good, man. What song is that called?
Okay, but the thing is, I don't know lyrics,
Yeah.
but I know the melody.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was not a melody of any Tupac song at all.
Listen.
Yeah, see, that's how Fred Flintstone talks. Yabba dabba do.
No.
So I want you to redo that. And
Do it again. Do it
a
again.
Tupac song.
Wait. I'm gonna close my eyes. Do it again.
Mama.
I'm not gonna lie to you right now. It's
Mama.
with your eyes closed. It sounds like Tupac's in the room.
Thank you.
Like I'm like, damn, what? Tupac's back?
Thank
That's
you,
why
man.
I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. You know that song?
Yeah, that one too.
You suck so bad, dude. You suck so bad, dude.
You suck so bad. As a human, dude, you fucking suck so bad.
You suck so bad, man.
Okay.
It's unreal.
I like Tupac.
I hate how much you
He's
suck
West
right now.
Coast.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I told you.
Get money.
Yeah,
You did
First
say
off-
"mama" at the end of it, though.
I did.
Were
say
you
that's what
saying
I'm
"Dear
saying.
Mama"? Is that the song you were singing?
Exactly.
The "Dear Mama." Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Lady, don't you know I love you, sweet? Oh my God, dude.
Okay, I do know the mom.
That's
it was
pretty good, bro.
About she was on drugs or something about the song thing.
Oh wow.
Anyways, here's
Oh,
the important
wow.
part.
Important part.
The
Jeez.
one of the guys who was the ringleader of killing Tupac was finally caught. And so I'm blinking out on his name right now. People who are listening, I don't know why it didn't really shock me so much. Because this dude has been going around. He wrote a book about it,
About killing Tupac.
right? And apparently he lives. He wrote a whole ass fucking book about it. He was doing interviews all over the place.
When?
Who is this guy?
I can't remember his
Like
fucking
this
name.
year?
This year. Well, it's been out for a while. He's been doing it for quite a while. Like all these like hip hop interviews, all this stuff talking about the shit, but he's being very careful about not talking about it. He would even have a lawyer off camera to make sure he's not self-incriminating himself.
Whoa.
So how's he talking about it without self-incriminating?
Well, this book was finally like the last thing, I guess, or it was just like he either stopped talking to legal counsel and he just started going wild doing all these interviews. Obviously, he's getting paid for this because what's the whole purpose of doing this? Unless he just wants it for clout. But Las Vegas apparently doesn't have a statute of limitations.
Oh wow.
So it's been 20 years, but Las Vegas doesn't have that shit. So police show up, he's fucking arrested. And he has gotten away with it for how long?
Hold on.
What was,
Statute of limitations.
yeah, so in California, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I believe the statute of limitations is like 20 years, right?
What does that mean, statute?
So
of
basically you can't be tried for a crime if it was like after 20 years have passed.
Okay, got it.
right?
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to understand.
Yeah.
But I think for murder, there's probably no.
Is there no?
I don't.
There's no statute of limitations for murder.
For
Right.
Muck Duck.
'Cause,
Okay.
like,
Also, this man's name was Dwayne Keith Davis.
Dwayne Keith Davis. I forgot what his hood name was.
Okay.
Oh, I feel too.
Just
no,
say it, girl.
it. We want to hear you say it. Say that.
But I
shit.
want you to say it with the most urban accent ever.
with your chest. Say it.
I'm absolutely not doing that. I'm just gonna spell it.
No.
It's okay. Trust me, Robin.
Say
It's
it,
okay.
Robin. Say it.
It's like Kef D, Keffed D.
Kef D.
Keith?
Keef D.
Keith?
Yeah, Keith. I think it's Keith.
I don't know.
Keef D.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
That was good,
That
Robin.
was good.
That was good.
That was good. And you know what?
Inspirational.
It was inspirational.
That was inspirational. That was inspirational.
What was the other word you used? It was use another word.
Robust.
Robust.
It was very robust.
It was very robust. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been going around, and look, if you were younger, right, or if you're Jason Cheney and you don't have any friends, that whole Tupac shit was fucking wild at the time. Like kids who weren't obviously gang affiliated, right, were in this whole East Coast, West Coast drama shit, right? We'd be throwing up West Sides. I remember when I was a kid, I couldn't do this, so I'd have to like morph my hands every day. I would practice it. It's like, you got to make sure you throw up the West Side, cut. You know?
Yeah.
So during that time, it's like Suge Knight, and this is from I remember when I was younger. It's like Suge Knight and Tupac, they were in Vegas in the casino. They went somewhere else. I forgot. Tupac got into an altercation with somebody, and basically he got a hit called on him, and it was rival gangs. It was Bloods versus Crips. Like,
Yeah.
you
He
know,
beat up a Crip, right? Wasn't it a Crip?
I think so.
It was
Yeah,
something like that.
It was at a casino, right? Because I think like Tupac was Pyru. So basically, Compton Crips, Pyru don't get along. Fucking whole shit, and then Tupac gets fucking killed. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows who did it. So this guy. Apparently, he like commissioned the younger homies, which was like his nephew, to do it. But later on, three of them got killed, and he's the last one that's alive.
Wow.
So that you can't even incriminate them for any of this because they're already dead. So
Yeah.
obviously through like gang shit. But yeah, the guy finally got caught. He got self-incriminated. I had no idea there was no statute of limitations for murder. That's insane.
Well, I know because there's a documentary about the Golden State Killer, and like I think it was the Golden State Killer, and he obviously murdered people like in the 70s or 80s, and they caught him like 2 years ago by using like reverse DNA. Like they went
this
through.
is the Patton Oswalt's wife, right?
Yes, exactly. That documentary. It's fucking crazy.
Dude's from Sacramento, by the way, my hometown.
They went through his trash and like got some of his DNA and then matched it to like Ancestry.com people, and they like they essentially found his cousins and like broke it down to that guy.
Whoa.
And it was like a cop. He was like a former cop.
This guy is fucking disgusting, man. Like, so Patton Oswalt's wife, I believe, was either like she was writing a book or she was a journalist or something like that, right? But she passed away because she was taking sleeping pills and she has sleep apnea, and basically she asphyxiated herself to death.
Yeah.
So fucking sad, right? And essentially, she was kind of leading the way to finding who this guy was because he's still alive and around, and he was doing this in Sacramento. At the time, in Sacramento years ago, 50, 60 years ago, it was a farm town. Like nobody really lives that close to each other. It's a super small town. There was like a case where he would like come into the house, barge in, and he would sexually assault these women in the worst way possible, right? While the husband is there. But he would put the husband into like another room and put like a stack of plates on their chest, have them lay down. And if he hears the plates move, he would fucking shoot the woman. Yeah, this guy was a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, he was
and
nuts.
he was going around town doing this for years until he just stopped. He ended up getting married, having kids or whatever. One of our buddies actually went to school with his kids.
Whoa.
And everybody thought that their dad was fucking weird. Even their kids thought he was fucking weird.
Wow.
He was like, yeah, he was just really odd. My dad's odd. Like, he's not very emotional. Like, he's just kind of to himself.
Wow.
So his kids had a funny feeling about his own dad, too. Yeah, and then when he finally got caught, like, the kids were like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Damn.
And
That's
I'm not sure if that
wild.
was like in the documentary thing, but this is what I heard from my friend who's friends with.
Oh my
Damn, imagine
God.
that being your dad, bro. You're like, damn, that was the Golden State Killer. Holy shit, what's up, Papa? No, that's
Dude,
fucking
we're
insane.
famous. No, but like this shit was crazy. Like back in the day, I feel like people got away with so much things because there wasn't really CCTV, there wasn't
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah, right.
Nowadays, you're not getting away with fucking anything.
But the way they found him was, like I said, they found like a napkin or something in his trash can and just reverse engineered it through Ancestry.com and then
Wow.
found him. It was fucking bananas.
yeah,
Wait, I was gonna ask what they can't. So you could murder somebody, and after 20 years, do they forgive you?
No,
that-
I don't think so. Not for murder.
Not
But
for
there's certain
murder, okay.
crimes, like say you get in a fight with somebody or
Yeah.
something like maybe, I don't know if assault counts,
Yeah.
but there's certain crimes where if you committed it,
Doesn't
like,
matter when.
after 20 years or whatever, a certain amount of time, they're like, it's past
Okay.
it's expired. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
That makes sense. Why would I think that you can get away with it just because 20 years passed? I'm just like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I thinking? That's the dumbest thing I've ever said.
Murder, I think, is not probably not on the table for that. But anyways, that guy you're talking about that killed Tupac, I heard Suge Knight said it was Suge Knight. First of all, said that he's known who killed him the whole time, but won't say.
Yeah.
And then now he's saying that it's not this guy.
Oh, really?
But who? Yeah, I saw something where he was like, it's not the guy you think it is.
Yeah, but who?
It's like just fucking say who it is, man.
yeah, but
Yeah.
who would come out and say that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
unless
shit.
it's for the
I
thing.
just got chills. You know what that means then? The person who killed Tupac is probably in the industry.
Probably.
Maybe like it's like P. Diddy or some shit. I don't
Yeah.
know. It could be
That
something
was like that famous Eminem line.
oh, yeah.
That P Diddy was the one that killed him. Yeah.
Because that's kind of fucking weird. Because if Suge Knight, who obviously managed all of like Tupac's career or whatever, whatnot, right?
Yeah.
He says he knows exactly who it is, but he can't say who it is. It's obviously not some random fucking gangster.
Right.
Right? It's somebody who's in the
Oh
industry.
shit!
That's
Maybe.
trippy as fuck.
Could be.
I don't know, man. Like Tupac's fucking craziest thing that he ever did was after he gets shot, he's like gurgling with blood. The cop who went to go save him to see what happened when he was at the crime of the scene, or the scene of the crime of the scene. Fucking your English is fucking me up. The scene of the crime, right? He goes there and he says that he's asking Tupac if he's okay, right? Like if he's okay, if he's fine. He looks at him. He's gurgling like with blood filling up into his lungs. He just goes, "Fuck you" to the cop, and he dies.
Whoa!
Damn, dude.
That's a fucking G. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but
Oh
you
my
talk about
God.
somebody who sticks to their fucking guns.
That's insane.
He said, "Fuck the police," and
Wow.
even when he's about to die, he goes, "Fuck you," and he dies. How wild is that shit?
Wow.
I don't know if I respect that per se or not. That's just that he was in character the whole time.
He was in character. He was committed to the cause for sure. Committed to the cause.
I went to the Tupac like museum. It was like an interactive museum type of thing, and you get to see all this other stuff. Listen, I'm not disrespecting Tupac or anything, but this dude wrote a lot of fucking shitty poetry in his little book. You can see all like the handwriting. He was a lover boy.
Yeah.
He was like a theater kid. His mother was a Black Panther. Like his whole like backstory to who he is and how he became who he is, like who he was it all makes sense. It all kind of clicks together. Like in theater, he was writing screenplays. He had an idea for like a cafe, like a food joint. He was
crazy.
He was on his fucking shit. So like seeing after his death, and mind you, he died early. He was like in his early 20s, 24.
What?
Yeah, I think he was young.
He was like in his
that's so
20s.
sad.
He was in his
Yeah.
early 20s when he died. And it was that whole like East Coast, West Coast beef shit that kind of really sparked it all off. And I'm pretty sure people who are like more hip hop historians, they can kind of, add more details to this. But I just remember as a kid, just how much that affected all of us. We're like, yo, fucking West Coast music is the best. East Coast music is fucking trash. And it's just spurred from like this rivalry that he had between him and Biggie.
He was really deep though.
Yeah, and there's like an argument too about like, who was a better rapper, like Tupac or Biggie all the time. But if you guys go back, like Biggie was like this lyricist, like the way like he would have wordplay with his shit. You know what I mean? Tupac was more emotional. He would put a lot of emphasis in his shit, make you feel it. But Biggie's wordplay was like next to none.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
It was just so fucking different. And I remember when I stopped, I grew up more. I was like, I should listen to this East Coast rap shit. And I listened to Biggie. I was hooked. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
this shit's
Biggie's the shit, dude.
so
Lyrically, amazing. Yeah, lyrically could just put the words together in such
I
a
have a
sick
feeling
way.
you've never listened to a Biggie Small song.
Do a Biggie Small song right now.
What the fuck was that?
That was him breathing.
Well, because he's fat?
No.
Yeah.
It's just sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Daytime sleep apnea.
He did breathe heavy. I've seen some interviews with him and I was like, holy shit, dude.
He can't really talk with
and, the sleep apnea.
the sleep apnea. Really give everybody your
Dude was
deep
like
voice.
Darth Vader on the mic, dude. That fool.
What's your favorite Biggie song?
Boo-doo-be-doo, boo-doo-boo, boo-doo-doo. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Robin, the next time you see Jason walk up to the studio, never let him in.
Robin, what song was that, do you think? If you had to guess, what Biggie song was he just doing the melody to?
I don't even know. It sounded like a commercial jingle, whatever he just did.
That was a,
Boom, got roasted by the producer. Tight.
that was a State Farm jingle, dude.
Hey, call him an idiot right now, Robin.
I don't know him that well.
It's okay.
Slicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage off instinct. N-word. Don't think shit stink.
N-word.
Pink Gators. My Detroit players.
Yeah.
Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Dead right. If the head right. Biggie there every night.
Every night.
Papa been smooth since days of Underoos. Never lose. You never know. You don't know this song?
I've heard it. It's a classic.
Jesus
Christ,
Yeah, Jason's making it up.
Hey,
dude.
it was a classic.
It was a classic.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
You're so good at avoiding things. It's amazing.
Wrong.
Your friend comes off
Wrong.
stage, does terrible stand-up. Wow. Nice.
Good job. That was great.
Do you like Biggie Smalls? Classic.
Classic.
That's exactly what I do with wine.
No, but you know what? Is I really wanted to learn about the thing. And when somebody has passion, talk about Biggie Smalls or Tupac, I like listening and learning about the thing. But when I'm like not there, I just think about other things.
Dog.
Dude, I love Jason, dude. He just
know what I'm
describes
saying?
being a human. You know, sometimes when I'm talking to people, I enjoy the conversation. But when I'm not talking to them, I'm thinking about other things. Like, just being a human with Jason, dude. Just being a fucking human being.
No, what a new show. Being a human with Jason.
Being a human with Jason
But
is your
I
show,
really
dude.
don't know why. Like I'm not like really invested into like music or because I would like to know the things.
It's just not your thing. You just don't like music?
But I tried.
You don't like music?
Huh?
You don't like music? What do
No,
you like?
I do like music.
What kind of music do you like? Actually, I'm interested.
No, I honestly really like different types
You
of
like
music.
weird, like fiddle shit, like fiddle, like like weird circus music
Yeah,
or some
sometimes.
shit, dude. Yeah, you into that? What do you listen to, man?
I listen to all the things. Like
Just silence in his car, dude.
I
Just-
know. You turn on the music. Hey, don't do that.
He just goes home and turns off like a robot. Just click, click.
Unplug.
I have a show. Yeah. I have a show later. Okay.
I would like to be interested in things too.
I want you to rap one song for me.
Okay, you don't think that I would also like to know the lyrics? You don't think I try to memorize some lyrics? You don't think, man? You don't think I Googled fucking Eminem lyrics and try to memorize it?
I want you
Do
to
know what I
rap
mean?
at least one song.
Okay.
Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by NordVPN. Have you ever been online and you started wondering, does random strangers know what I'm doing online right now? Am I snooping around, or are they snooping around on the things that I'm doing? Well, guess what? With NordVPN, you stay protected online. Cybersecurity is super important, and you should be thinking about it a lot, because how many times are you on your phone watching something, reading something, surfing the web, watching videos, whatever that it is? NordVPN gets that cybersecurity up there because everybody should use a VPN. If it's not NordVPN, what are you doing? I love my NordVPN, and whenever I'm going online doing whatever that it is, I have it on because I need it. My personal information is important out there, and almost anybody can grab it. There's ways for people to get it that you don't even freaking know. So do yourself a favor, get NordVPN. Users can get a huge discount with the purchase of a 2-year plan plus 4 months free. And my friends, here's an exclusive. Grab the NordVPN deal, nordvpn.com/geniusbrain, and get an extra subscription time. Try it risk-free now with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring our show. Genius Brain Farts. This podcast is brought to you by Fume. Cutting cold turkey on bad habits is super hard. Well, guess what? We got to talk about Fume because, my friends, it is super, super amazing. We are talking about looking at problems in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad habit from your head? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavored air device that does just that. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do with, which is helpful for de-stressing anxiety while breaking your habit. My friends, the taste is freaking amazing. The look and the feel of it is pretty freaking cool. I like the weight and the heft. It looks pretty cool. It has like this like real wood, natural like shape to it. Freaking awesome. When I have it in my hand, people ask me what it is. I say it's my Fume, my friends, and I'm breaking bad habits one fume at a time. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that it can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and use code GENIUS to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use code GENIUS to save an additional 10% off your first order today.
Oh, say.
That is not a rap song. If you every
Okay.
time without fail, the national anthem. No.
Okay.
That's how you know Jason's a spy, dude. Because that's the
100%,
part that,
dude.
like, just anytime he's questioned about anything, he's just like, oh,
You talk like a
say.
spy, dude.
The
I pledge
worst spy
allegiance.
ever.
This was a spy. I know he's a spy, dude.
You always say things like it's going to be super profound, but you're just explaining things that regular people do. Hey, let me tell you something, okay? When I put food in my mouth, I chew. And then that's it.
And then later
The end.
on, maybe I go to
That's
sleep.
good timing.
Maybe
That's
I go to
good timing.
sleep
Rap
later.
one song.
All right. Lollipop. You take me to the candy shop.
So you really only listen to 50 Cent?
Do you like 50 Cent?
I do like 50 Cent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
And
rap a
he's-
fucking 50 Cent
I
song.
just did it. Wang.
My God.
You don't think I try to remember lyrics is the thing?
What's the song? Any song that you like?
Any song.
Okay.
What do you like? What are you listening to right now?
A whole new world. Okay, the new one is The Greatest Showman.
What's that?
This is the greatest show.
That's not new.
What is?
It's a new one. Like it's like 4 years old.
How was that new that you said it's 4 years old?
It's new to me. It's fucking perspective, man.
Dude, Jason's an alien, dude.
You really are an alien, dude.
You're
I
an
don't
alien that came to Earth, and you're like
Dude,
trying.
do you
You're
know
like
how
the
hard
first.
it is to try to be normal?
Show me your immigration papers.
You're like the first model of like the first iPhone
Dude,
that
it's
came
hard
out.
to
They're
be
like
normal.
working the bugs out.
Yeah.
They're like the first alien they
You're
sent.
not a real
to just
fucking
be
person.
like
I am a real person.
to just gather data.
Though, speaking of fucking aliens, dude, you know what's so hilarious? Your people have to respond back to that fucking jacked up Mexican alien that they found. What the fuck is that?
What is
Dude,
the
it's
jacket
crazy
thing?
that no one gave a fuck at
Oh,
all.
yeah,
And
what the fuck
instantly
is
was
that?
like, that looks like bullshit to me, dude.
These guys just come out, they go, so we found one.
Mexico.
They had him in little
That's how they say
caskets.
it.
Porque like, so we got one.
So we got one.
So we got one. I don't know if you know this, but we have one. We can't give you samples or anything like that, but like, hey, it's right here.
Dude, they're holding it in the neck like it's a chicken.
Yeah.
They go, it's a good one, is it?
It's a good one.
We got it in Miami.
And we got it in Miami.
Miami. There's three.
When I saw that shit, I was like, okay, what in the fuck? How are we supposed to believe that this is an alien? And
Yeah.
it looks like the aliens from Men in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like bullshit.
And then they're just like, oh, this was preserved. Oh, yeah, okay. Also, too, it has every like is it the word phenotype? The genetic expression that you see outside, like the phenotype,
Yeah.
like a mouth, a nose, and eyes like us.
Yeah.
Like, are we just supposed to believe that this is a fucking alien?
Yeah.
It was the saddest thing ever. What is going on with Mexico right now?
Dude, I heard that they discovered it at like an ancient like tribal area or like a campsite or something like that, and they think that some people think that it's like, oh, they were just like artifacts that this tribe made a long time ago, and then they're like, oh, these are aliens. I don't know, but it was funny to me that everyone instantly was like, that looks like bullshit.
That's fucking bullshit. dude.
No traction. They had suits on.
Hey, no disrespect
They
to
had suits on like it was serious.
no disrespect to Asian people. You can probably go to Japan and find a couple of grandpas that look like that right now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, dude.
Yeah.
It looks like an old Asian grandpa, and I was just so upset. They just found an Asian person.
Yeah.
And he's just like sleeping, and they just picked him up.
He's like, fuck.
We have the alien. And this Japanese guy wakes up. Hello? Where's my home? I used to wake up. He's in Mexico?
He rolls out of the casket.
And, this is bullshit. Taking me back to my home.
Yeah. I don't know what that was, dude. But yeah, you don't hear it. It's just like,
But they made like national news out of it. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, we found a fucking
Yeah.
alien. Like it was like an in your face to everybody else in the world. Like, you guys got Elon Musk? We got this fucking alien made out of cake.
Yeah.
But no press is bad press because now we talk. Everybody talk about the thing, and maybe next time if they find a real alien, they go, "I just kidding about the last one, but this one real one."
This one real one.
Hey, my man, hey, it's okay. Like, whatever, all right? Just fucking leave it alone. Whatever, man. I don't care. But listen, what the fuck, man? I was actually kind of disappointed because there's been so many alien talk now where people are like finding these spaceships in the sky, because we have all this recording and shit now. Now we could actually see it for ourselves. And before, people would just tell these stories, but you can't confirm it.
Yeah.
But now you see actual video recordings of these objects next to a plane that fucking just disappeared. They go straight up in the air. I'm like, That's what the fuck is that?
So I've gone pretty deep on the alien shit.
did?
Oh,
I've
really?
gone pretty deep. Yeah, because I was like, let's see what's going on. And I've like listened to a lot of motherfuckers talk about it. And you hear psychos that are like, these fools are clearly crazy.
Yeah.
And then the other dudes were like, oh, it's interesting. Like there's some, I like absorbing all of it. And I'm just, even as a story, even if it's not true, like this is just a good fucking story.
Yeah.
Like there's this one dude that claims to have like had contact with aliens. And this is his thing, all right? Some dude named Stephen Greer. He says that you can communicate with them through a level of thought. So like they do everything through thought. Like they communicate through thought, they move through thought, spaceships move through thought. And if you meditate enough, you reach this plane of thought where you can actually communicate with these beings. Sounds great. If this was a movie, I'd be like, that's pretty dope, dude. I'm already on board. But he talked about how what was he saying? He was saying that that humans have found alien technology a long time ago and have been kind of working on it, like secret psyop shit. And so that some of the stuff you see right now is human shit that they're just like kind of like doing. He's like, there's real aliens. He's like, there's like 80 species that we know of. He's like, but there's human shit. And like they, sometimes they're kind of flexing to other countries, like flexing to Russia or like it could be Russia flexing there, like just new technology that we're flexing. Like, hey, we got this shit. If you guys try to fuck around, we have that. And it's like one of those things that you're talking about. But his whole thing was that there's like, they're trying to create like this is where it gets like conspiracy theorists, their theory or whatever the fuck. He was like, they're just trying to create a false flag with like a human version of it to just get people to be like, oh shit, there's an alien attack. And then they can do whatever the fuck they want. That's where he kind of starts going down that road. But I'm like, that's interesting. And then you hear other guys that talk about just like how the spaceships moves. Some guys say that they found it from ancient digs. You got the guy that with the sunburn that's like aliens from ancient aliens, who's always fucking ridiculous to listen to. But dude, there's a lot of information out there, and who knows? I mean,
But they say it's real. The government says
the government says there's shit that we don't know,
Yeah.
like that there's
Yeah,
UAPs,
sure.
which are UFOs. There's the whistleblower that came out from, I think he was in the Air Force, the guy that actually did a hearing in Congress. But what makes me feel like it's so hard to trust like mainstream news that like whenever they say something, it makes me feel like, anytime they say anything, I'm kind of thinking the opposite. I'm like, I feel like the opposite is true.
So you think there's
know?
no aliens?
I think there is aliens,
Yeah.
but I don't know, like, there's always an angle, like they're
Yeah.
always like trying to angle something.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
always
true.
like, what's going on with all that shit?
That's
So I'm
wild
skeptical.
as fuck. So it's saying like if you meditate hard enough, you could talk to a fucking alien.
I would love it.
And
I
then
mean, you're pretty much there. Your brain's empty
you're a
anyways.
fucking alien, dude.
You're,
We're talking
you
about
are.
an
Don't be
alien right
fucking
now,
lying
dude.
to us, dude. You should just like, yeah, I would love it. Yeah, alien.
Yeah.
You're a fucking alien,
You're
dude.
an alien, dude. That's why you want to eat all that sheepskin fucking soup and
I know.
shit. All that bullshit
It
organic
reminds
ass
me
bile
of my hometown meals.
Yeah,
The
out of a-
planet of Zergog.
out of a Home Depot
I'm
bucket.
telling my friends about this
Some white Home
I'm telling
Depot
my friends
bucket.
about this
right now.
Just like, kill the fat one.
Dude.
Yeah, I only started reading a little bit about the whole alien thing because this whole thing popped up. And then now people are putting all this footage together. And there was that theory of, okay, maybe this is tech that the U.S. government has that they're not telling. And then when people are seeing it, the U.S. government's covering up and like, yeah, there's aliens, guys. It's
Yeah.
aliens.
Right.
But you're saying it's a deeper level of, no, that's actually alien technology that they're fucking around with?
So there's guys like Bob Lazar is a big one, right? So he came out in the 80s, said he worked at some secret facility in New Mexico, I think it was. And he came out and he basically said that he was brought on as an engineer to reverse engineer spacecraft that they had found in ancient digs. So they basically, his role was like they found a ship and they brought a bunch of engineers saying, how does this work? And they basically were trying to have them fuck with the ships to just figure out how this works so that they could apply it to their own technology. That's like what he said humans that were doing in the 80s. And he came out because people were like, why are you saying, like, why would you come out and say this? And he was like, because his phones were tapped and stuff like that. And he felt like his life was threatened. So he, as like a defense, he was like, this is like insurance for me. Like, I'm saying this shit. So if I die, it's like there's a risk to killing me now. That was his whole story. But if that's true, that they were reverse engineering technology, which, I mean, look, if we did find a spacecraft, we would try to figure out how it worked. And that was in the 80s. Like, imagine what it's fucking 30, 40, 50 years later, like the kind of shit they would have now.
It'd be fucking insane.
It'd be insane.
Well, why don't we use some of the things?
Well, they probably do, but that's the thing is like, so another guy, the Stephen Greer guy was like, some of this technology that they have, and like I said, this is just his point of it could be bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's saying, and this also kind of makes sense to me though, is like that some of the technology has the power to completely revolutionize our civilization.
Oh yeah, I know. We'll
Like
fuck
we
up
wouldn't
the
need
whole-
oil. We wouldn't need like you would just like we'd be so abundant. Like all these multi-millionaire, billionaire dudes would lose so much money.
Oh, okay.
He's like, and that's why like they don't want to do that. And like I said, true or not, if that capacity if that kind of technology existed, fools in power would for sure not want that to happen.
Yeah.
Like that's just a human thing where like dudes in power would not want that to be exposed.
Just kill them all, dude.
Just kill them all, dog.
Yeah, man. I think that's a great idea. It's never been done in history before.
Who the people in power?
No, you just kill people you don't
aliens?
like. Kill people you don't like. Yeah, there you go.
It's like what?
You're definitely an alien, dude.
Dude, Jason's an alien, dude.
You're a fucking alien right now.
Why do you say that, man?
Look at you. You don't
I'm
even know
not
what's
an
going
alien.
on.
I do.
Oh, yeah, you're not. What's that? See
I-
that? He's
I told you
communicating
just
right
now.
now. You saw that fucking
Yeah,
nose
yeah.
twitch? He's fucking
He did
communicating right
Morse
now.
code right now.
I told you what you said just now.
You know, I'm gonna tell my alien friends.
Everyone just looking. We're talking so much shit about you.
You just taking a nap.
I'm gonna do that to my wife every time she talks to me about some shit I don't want to hear about.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on, I'm talking to my alien friends.
just break down. We're talking so much shit in the chat about you.
But like
Dude,
when we like technology has been so fucking crazy now where like even the other day, like I have this iPhone 11 Pro Max. I haven't upgraded it since.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need to because the phone works fine.
Yeah.
But then I see somebody with a new iPhone and I'm like, holy shit, my thing is garbage. Like it is garbage compared to
Yeah.
your phone. Like
Yeah.
tech grows so fast now. Like when we were younger, when something new popped off, we had to wait a long time for it.
Yeah.
Now it's like a new iPhone every
Every day.
fucking year.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. Here's something new. Like, oh, if you get this iPhone 14, well, next spring there's gonna be an iPhone 15.
Right.
Like, dog, you just can't stop buying things left
Yeah.
and right. And like technology is advancing so fucking fast. Even like film and movie, we used to have to wait like fucking 2 years for like a videotape, right? But now it goes movie 3 months later, DVD, Hulu, all this online shit.
Like before, I feel like Netflix was, I don't know, maybe it's because it's so saturated. Like now it's so hard to find a show that you want to watch and get into.
Yeah, we definitely have too much, man. I finally watched the Shane Gillis special.
Beautiful
What'd
dogs.
you watch?
It's really good. Dude.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
I think it's probably one of the best stand-up specials this year.
Did
Yeah.
you like the first one or the second one more?
They were both funny.
They're both
Yeah.
great.
Which is very hard to do.
Yeah.
Like usually you get the wow factor of the first one and the second one's kind of like meh.
Yeah.
But they're both fucking
He's
funny.
a beast, dude.
Yeah.
He's
It's
a
kind of
fucking
crazy
beast.
watching him, right? So like years ago, like I did this video just kind of like talking shit about him because of that podcasting that came out,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And like even like now, if I look back at the video, I still didn't like it because he was calling us chinks, and I didn't like that shit. Yeah, I mean like there's like certain lines you don't cross, especially if it's not there's no joke in it. Like he didn't make a joke. That was the problem with me, right? It's like like say what you want, but you can't call us chinks. Like that's like fucking crazy. That's some wild shit. And so like when I look back at it, I was like, I just didn't know what was funny about what he was saying. Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know where the punchline is because I'm always looking for the punchline, and so that kind of put like a sour taste in my mouth, right? I was like, it's fucking weird, dude. And then lo and behold, I see him pop up. I see a sketch comedy show. I'm like, I'm fucking laughing. I'm fucking laughing. Why am I laughing? Then this guy's hilarious. Yeah, right.
I'm fucking laughing.
Right?
You hate it.
I'm like, I hate that I'm laughing, and I'm wishing I would have thought of this because it's so fucking funny, right? And then he brings out the special on YouTube, and I'm like, this is the funniest shit I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It's making me mad that I'm so this is so fucking funny.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, stop turning me into a fan, you fucking idiot. But then that's the thing, like his comedy is undeniable. Like,
Yeah.
like we all say very unpleasant or unfavorable things, especially when you're on a podcast format, right? Like you're trying to make so many fucking jokes, like you kind of forget that you're talking to an audience. And I've done this like multiple times on this podcast, right? We're just like spitballing stupid jokes and ideas, whether they're inappropriate or appropriate or not. And I think when I look back at it, it's like maybe he got kind of caught up on that shit as well. Right? Because now when you look at it as like racial jokes, they're a lot more nuanced. Like that shit wasn't nuanced at all. But he's obviously evolved since then. And now when he makes like these racial or, sexual jokes, there's nuance to it where like everybody can laugh about it.
Right. Well, I think what it is too is like we kind of understand who he is now. So it's almost like the equivalent of like with you guys, for example, like I'm close to you guys. We know each other. I know I can say some wild shit to you guys, and you know I don't mean it because you know me.
I
And
know, but
we'll
every
laugh.
time you say the N-word is like really rude. You can't say the N-word. You can't say it that many times.
Hey, man.
He just comes out, what's up, man? Oh,
Hey, that's in private, dude.
Oh, okay,
Don't
I'm
talk
sorry.
about that shit, dude. But anyways, so yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No,
Jason is kidding, by the way.
I'm kidding.
No, he's dead serious.
I take it around.
But so I think like in that situation, because it was him and his buddy, and you're right, it wasn't nuanced, but I think they probably were like at the level where they can say some wild shit to each other, and they know in their world they don't mean it, and they know each other. But you're right, there's an audience listening, and you if it's not nuanced, it's just like you're like, what the fuck is this fool talking about, right?
Yeah.
But now we know him, right? So like even in the new special, he has a joke about being in Australia and how like there's no black people there, and how it's like white people take crazy chances because there's no black people to set them straight. And then he has a line where he's like, yeah, and I know what you're thinking, like no black people, and he's like, kind of like that's sick, you know? And then he jokes. Obviously he's joking. That's a racist fucking joke.
Yeah.
But we know him now.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know what I mean?
But then he also like completed the joke and made it full circle, right?
Yeah.
And I think with that podcast, he made a big mistake because when I was listening to it, nothing went full circle. It just stopped.
Right,
I was
exactly.
like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, you should have made a joke out of this.
Right.
And so that's why people were pissed. And I think like the thing that kind of allowed me to like I said, who the fuck cares if I approve or not? But it was just like, he never doubled down. He didn't say like, no, it's right. You know what I mean?
he's like, oh,
he didn't double down. He's like, I kind of like, it was kind of poor taste. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's fine.
it's kind of hard to defend that.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much to say. You know, he's like, yeah, I didn't do like a full circle joke here. You know, I just kind of just threw that word out there and I just left it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when I watched this like second special, I'm like, damn, he has that thing. He has that fucking it factor. You know what I mean? Where he is so undeniably like himself on stage.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking hilarious. Like, I don't know why I'm fucking laughing so much at the shit he's saying. It's like, this is a goofy fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's so goofy and very smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and also he's so good at he can touch base in both worlds.
Yeah.
So he's got like the you know he can make like
Mental
politically mental anything. But I'm saying like he can appeal to crowds that are more liberal and conservative because he has a conservative background, and he makes fun of everybody. And it's not
Everybody can get it.
Everyone can get it. But he's also he's not just pandering, because there's a lot of comics that just pander.
Yeah.
And I hate that shit where like they just say something in a crowd. That's why I like your gun bit. Because like it's hard, especially in California, it's hard to talk about being pro-gun, you know what I mean? But you're not out there like I'm pro-gun. You make fun of both sides. But like you're bringing them into a world that they're uncomfortable with, and then they're happy that they're there, right? Shane Gillis does that perfectly, dude. Like where he can touch base on the conservative side, the liberal side, and he makes fun of everybody. And then it's just kind of like everyone's just cool, you know what I mean? So he's special in that sense too.
100%.
You know?
Man. And like, when I see like these people, like, I think we're just getting older now too, where I'm not as critical as people as I used to be when I was younger. Cause like when you're younger, you're just pissed and angry about everything. Sometimes you just want to fucking laugh, right?
Yeah.
As long as like, I feel like comedy too during pandemic was so rough, right? People couldn't perform. Everybody was so fucking hypersensitive about everything. You made a joke that kind of rubbed you the wrong way. Somebody would write an article on fucking trash ass Vulture about it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And it's like, what kind of world do we live in now where like comedy can't be explored? And I'm not saying that it's not going to be offensive. I'm not saying I haven't been offended by comedy too.
Yeah.
Right. But I've seen people work their material where they got better with it. They made it more nuanced, and it kind of gives them an opportunity to do something.
Right.
Like I just feel
But
like
the intention is to be funny.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes people forget that. It's like we're just trying to do our best to make you laugh and have a good time.
And just remember how bad fucking these newer comics that came out were. Just as a fucking sobering reminder, how bad was their stand up?
Right.
When they pander to a crowd and they're just trying to make a joke about nothing.
Yeah, they want claps.
They
just
want to
want
clap.
claps.
They want
Yeah.
social justice shit,
Yeah,
right? And
that's
I
the
talked this
worst.
about on a previous podcast, like Hassan Minhaj, right?
Damn, that's
Oh, yeah, how do you guys-
That guy's trash.
that guy's been trash.
He's
though.
trash since day one, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
of course he doesn't want to say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You don't have to. You're in the big
Inspirational
leagues.
stuff.
They're Inspirational.
I know. Hey, inspirational, dude.
Inspirational.
Dude,
Listen,
that guy's come on, dude.
He fucking
I'm sorry, you're probably
doxed two
friends with
people,
him, so.
fucking ruined two people's lives,
No,
people
no.
that he knew that were his friends. Everything's all fake, made up fake social situations, made up fake hate crime stuff so he could look good as a human being. And he made no jokes.
Anyone that goes out, and even
But
for
he's doing
even,
a special though. He's doing a special, doing the comedy. He was a comedy special. But
Yeah, was it funny?
okay, but let me ask you. But he's trying to be funny. But what is
He's
the
not
line?
trying to be funny though.
I can't stand
he's trying
pandering
to-
ass shit, dude.
He's
Like,
trying to make
pandering-
himself look good.
Yeah, exactly. The vanity of it, the pandering.
What is the line? What is the line of how much you can exaggerate in comedy?
Well, he didn't
No.
exaggerate. He just lied.
No, but
About
the,
real people.
The thing is, you
I
can,
know, but
you,
what is
you,
the line
no,
of lying and exaggerating?
You can lie, dude.
Yeah.
I have no problem with lying or exaggerating in comedy. We all make shit up, and if it's funny. But like, if you're just making up the anthrax thing, like a story about like what the anthrax shit to just make people feel bad about you, and then there's
What's
no
the anthrax shit? I actually don't know about.
There was
this,
like
so
I don't know the specifics
So
of it.
this is what it is, right? So he's getting called out because there was a journalist who wanted to do a piece on him, and what this journalist found out was that everything he did was a fucking lie, and he said, "Well, 70% of my material is emotional truth." What the fuck is emotional truth? Emotional truth is it didn't happen. It lied. So he's trying to bend. He's doing wordplay, semantics. So, for example, the anthrax thing was that he said that because of his stand-up comedy, he got an envelope full of anthrax, right? And it went on to his daughter. And then his wife looked at him and goes, "You could make all your political comedy wherever you want, but if it affects my life and our family, then I'll fucking leave you." Well, that's not a joke.
There's no joke.
Oh.
It's almost like this. Remember Steve Renazizi said he was in 9/11? Remember that? Do you know about that?
No.
There's a comic named Steve Renazizi.
Yeah, I know.
who,
I
like,
know of him.
Yeah. So he had this for a long time, this story about how he was like at 9/11. He was in the towers and like he had, I don't remember the specifics, but essentially that he had like this heroic story about how he was there. 6 years down the line, it came out that wasn't true. It was a complete lie. And and now everyone roasts his ass for it. And he like takes it like a champ. He's like, I think what happened is he told a story. And then he started getting attention. He's like, oh shit, I'm in too deep, and he probably just kept the lie going. But when I mean, and he doesn't seem like a scumbag like that. But it's just like if you're making up a story just to like get brownie points, like if you're not using
No
it
pun intended.
if you're not using it for comedic effect, and it's just like a horrible thing that happened, like why would you do?
Okay, but
why would you do that?
the joke is coming later.
No,
Do you know
that
what I
was
mean?
it.
but
There was no joke.
Oh.
It's like saying
You
like
didn't watch the special? I
It's-
watched the special. It took 12 hours to watch it because it was so bad.
if there's a joke at the end of it, dude. If there's a joke at the end of it, say
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you
But
want.
there was a special though, so there's a joke coming in like fucking 2 minutes or however long.
That's like me.
There was no special.
That's like me saying like, dude. That's like me being like, I've been molested, like, and I just want you to feel bad
I'll
about
put it
that.
to you
and
like this.
I'm just like I've been
Oh, no.
molested, and then I talk about like what it's like to be a guy that's been molested, and then you find out 10
I'll
years
put
later.
it to you like this, right?
And there's
Dave-
nothing funny.
Dave Chappelle did on his special. He had a conversation piece about his trans friend who committed suicide, right?
Yeah.
And there wasn't really much jokes to it. It was a personal story that he told.
Yeah.
Now, if Dave Chappelle said, but that never existed, that person wasn't real.
Yeah.
And his reason was like, well, it happens to real people, so what's the problem? Well, the problem is that now you're taking like real life situations with real life people. In Aziz, not Aziz, I'm sorry.
Steven Azizi?
No, not Stephen Aziz.
The other
Akash Singh.
other Indian dude.
Hassan Minhaj,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He used real life people. These are people that actually fucking exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
These are real people.
Okay,
This isn't a
okay.
made up person.
Okay, if it's a
But
okay,
it's-
I didn't know
He put their
if it was
fucking
a real
picture up on his fucking
Oh, okay.
TED Talk.
Then, no.
Right.
Okay.
Said dog.
Yeah.
And also, but it's also that plus his entire character of the guy that's trying to pander and like, you know what I mean? Like, because if
Look at how I bullied.
if-
Like I'm, you know.
even if Chappelle came out and was like, that trans story is not true, right? We'd kind of be like, oh, that's kind of whack.
Yeah.
But Chappelle's not the kind of guy that goes up there and just trying to get you to clap along with. Like
No,
he'll
no,
say
no.
some
He's
shit
saying
that's
things,
real,
though.
and he'll tell
Yeah,
you.
but
so
he gets laughs,
it
too.
would almost, even though that's like a wrong thing to do, it would be counterbalanced with his character as a whole, and you'd be like, that was whack, but he's still pretty cool because he does this. But if your whole character is, if you're doing shit like that,
Political comedy
and,
where it's
and,
like,
and
yeah.
you're like, this is feel bad about me, but then also your whole persona is that you're like, this is what is you're whack. Like that's whack.
I'll put
Does
it
that
to you
make
like
sense?
this too. Like for me, there are things that like real people go, and I said this on the last podcast, right? How many people that we know, like, oh, obviously we make jokes or whatever, whatnot,
Yeah.
right? But on a serious note, there are people who really do get like sexually assaulted. Like, let's say for an example, like you were talking about that guy who was an 18-year-old who
Yeah,
got
yeah, right.
like sexually assaulted, right?
Right.
Now, that in and of itself is a terrible thing that happened,
Yeah.
right? And then we had this conversation, and then, but later on, he does like this whole thing. People are coming up to him saying, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry that happened to you." And basically, he gains popularity because he's pandering to this thing of like a real life tragedy that happened to real people.
Yeah,
And
to
then
real people. I
he
didn't
gets
know.
money from it. He gets
Yeah,
fame
yeah,
from
yeah.
it, success.
Yeah.
Right. And then everybody feels bad about, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, by the way, it wasn't real."
And also,
If it's real people, that's fucked up because it's like
It is real people.
and also
but
there's
you-
no joke. Like,
Yeah.
where's the funny part?
I didn't know, but I didn't know there's that. I watched like parts of it, but but if like in movies or TV series, they will make up things and go, "This is fiction." Like Marvel, people are flying.
Yeah, he's saying it's real. So
I know
for example,
that I didn't know that
exactly. So he's
Yeah.
saying it's real. So let me tell you. So there was another part too where there was a girl.
When it affects others and other people are getting hurt.
There was a girl.
that's
She
the
got
thing.
fucking doxxed and she got ripped into. People were finding where she lives, all of her personal
What was
information,
this?
and it
Bro.
was his friend. So it was a girl that he said that he wanted to go out to prom with her.
Yeah.
And there was
Oh yeah.
and
I heard
then
of
her
this.
parents were like, no, because he's a brown guy, I don't want you. And he made this whole emotional statement of like, well, look now,
Yeah, I
like look at
remember
me
this.
now, blah 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 blah. Never fucking happened. That girl he invited to that show, and he put her picture up there and just slightly blurred her face and her husband's face. She got fucking found and got doxxed. It's a real person.
Oh, shit.
Her life got
Yeah.
fucked over for
Yeah,
that
if
shit.
people are getting hurt, that's not cool.
Well, so the real story is that she already had a date, and then she couldn't go. And
Yeah.
she married like a Southeast Asian guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she came out looking like this racist. Her family came out looking like a bunch of racist bastards, and it's a real person.
But
Yeah.
but it's using it's what's shitty is like you're using something that's really painful and like racism.
Yeah.
And you're using it for your personal benefit, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fucking whack.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's whack. Now, if you use it in the concept, if you use racism or whatever, and then you make it funny
Okay.
because you're a comedian, okay, fine.
But
whatever.
if he's saying a thing about the racism thing, and at the end, his end like conclusion is like, "Hey, but don't be bullied," and other people feel empowered not to be bullied by racism. And if it's a fake story by fake people, then I'm like, okay, it's like a Disney movie. It's
Sure,
nice.
but
that
then you're not a comedian, and why are you doing stand up? Go do a TED talk.
Yeah.
exactly.
Do
Well,
that.
he wasn't doing stand up. He was doing
But
a
you
TED
hear
Talk.
the laughs inside the thing.
No.
I always try to understand. I always try to give the benefit of the doubt.
Listen,
Benefit of the doubt.
when
Yeah.
I first listened to his quote unquote special, right? I actually didn't know it was a special. I thought it was a TED Talk.
Yeah.
And so when I didn't know who he was, I heard of him, I listened to it. I was like, I don't want to listen to this TED Talk, and so I turned it off. And then a friend came to me and he was like, "Oh, did you watch Hassan Minhaj's special?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't know he also brought out a special." And he sent me the link to the Netflix thing.
It's the
and I was
same
like,
thing?
"Wait, that's the same thing I saw." I was like, "No, I said a special." He was like, "That is his special." I'm like,
Yeah.
how is that a special? There's no
Right.
jokes.
Yeah.
It's like a TED Talk. So it's like, but you know, Ari Spears and like even a bunch of other like comics said too, they're like, what happened to comedy where you're supposed to make people laugh?
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
now people are just here
Oh.
talking about their trauma
Yeah.
on
Bro,
stage.
I was talking to another comic about this. I feel like even 6 years ago, the pressure of getting laughs and hard laughs was higher than now. I feel like now, I forgot which comic was saying that now the setup just has to be a little longer so that we don't get. But I miss it.
I miss
when we could
laughing. How about that?
Yeah. Make
I
me
miss,
laugh,
like,
dude.
to-
Make
to
me
the
fucking
things,
laugh.
yeah. But do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking
like
about.
before, like 5, 6, even 7 years ago, it was like laughing was the point. Like whatever you say, you have to just. But now it's like the pressure of getting the laughs is not as high as before. I feel like.
Yeah, well,
do you feel that?
Yeah, no, 100%. It seems like it's not the main priority. It's like
Yeah, it's like
which it should be.
secondary.
It should be like make money. Look, I'm not no one to be like the comedy police and how you should do comedy. Everyone has their style. You
Yeah,
do whatever the
everyone
fuck
does,
you
yeah,
want
right,
to do. And there's nothing wrong with being emotional or talking about real shit that's happening to you. There's guys like Ali. What's his name? Ali Sadiq.
Ali Sadiq, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the black dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude is incredible, and he'll go into stories like about like he had this one story about how he shot a guy, went to jail, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But it was intense, and there's
Yeah.
moments where like it's fucking you can hear a pin drop in there because
Yeah.
he's literally talking about shooting this guy that he tried
Yeah.
to kill,
Yeah.
and he's angry and like it's aggressive, and you're like holy shit, and then he brings you out of it, and makes it fucking
Funny.
hilarious,
Yeah, right,
and
right.
you're like the emotional payoff of that whole journey was sick.
Was
I'm
sick.
down for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But that's his style. He's doing it, and he's also not doing it to be like comedy is a rebellious art form. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In its nature, it's like it's the jester told the king the truth, and he was funny, and it ruffles feathers. That's what it is. So when a
Yeah.
guy goes up there just to like for like vanity
His
purposes,
therapy.
yeah, or his therapy, or his vanity purposes, or just to be like, look, guys, how good I am. It's like that's the anti-soul of personally
yeah.
what I
Yeah.
think comedy is.
Like
Comedy,
self-deprecation. There's like making like these terrible situations funny. Like I said, I had to because I did the podcast on it. I was forced to watch that shit again. And it was like
that's your trauma, dude.
yeah, it's my trauma. I'll put it out like that. Brendan Schaub is funnier than him.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
100%.
Dude, 1,000,000%.
Oh,
Brendan
wow.
Schaub
That's
is
the nicest
way
thing you've ever said about Brendan Schaub.
Yeah,
No,
that is-
hey, no, it's not. I said great things about
That
him.
is a
Top
nice-
10 heavyweight in the UFC.
Okay.
Back down.
Yeah. top 10 heavyweight in the UFC, right? Brendan Schaub, if you guys think Brendan Schaub, at least Brendan Schaub has punchlines. He's trying to make people laugh. Right?
He's not just pandering.
He's not pandering. Right? So Hassan goes up there and he just jumps up, whoa! Well, he just screams up there and he just talks about his like personal trauma that never fucking happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't
and
agree
also
with
it's not
that.
funny.
And it's just not funny.
And also, this is another
What the
thing.
fuck are you doing?
I always do the devil's advocate because I'm good with either side, but it's also so hard. This is why sometimes it's so hard to do specials.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if you do your I don't know. I think it's his second or third. I don't know. Yeah, but if you do 2 already, coming up with the third, and you're working on the Daily Show, and
hard,
dude, it's crazy.
For sure.
So yeah, so he had to be like, oh, let's make up a thing.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Yeah, I know there's no
dude,
excuse.
You can make
but-
the problem isn't making things up.
It's making things about
up is
people,
cool.
actual
Make
people.
up
Yeah,
a thing.
that's
I don't
not-
give a fuck.
Yeah.
Make up something that didn't happen to you, but make it funny, and also maybe don't involve like some real
people.
Yeah,
Like,
real people. That's
also, it's
crazy
like I'm
thing.
not gonna
That's a
make up a
crazy
story
thing.
about me being. Or I mean, I don't know.
Like feel sorry for me, feel bad for me.
Exactly.
Look how terrible America is.
Yeah.
Look, we already know like the inadequacies that this country has, right? And there are real stories like that actually happened. Why couldn't he just use that and talk about it in his stand-up?
Right.
Why did he have to be the victim?
Yeah.
Why did he have to be the hero?
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's the
You know what I'm
annoying-
saying?
that's the
It's
annoying part.
The most obnoxious, disgusting shit I've ever seen in my life. And that's coming from me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, me?
Yeah.
I look at you and I go, disgusting? Got a problem here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I saw that, it was just like, it's everything that I hate about people who try to do comedy that just isn't, he's not funny. You know what I'm saying? He might be a great writer, all this other stuff, but as a stand-up, he knew he wasn't funny. So what he did was like, I'm gonna make people feel bad for me, right? Because I can't actually make people laugh.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is start pandering to this crowd and hit their emotional chords and just not make jokes.
Yeah.
Right? Trash. But this is what I'm talking about.
Do you
Well,
like his first one?
I don't.
No, none of his stuff has ever been good.
It's also that I don't know how you feel, but this is how I feel. So like, look, I could like I'm a dad, right? I never call myself a single dad because I think that leans into the like make people feel like
Bad for you.
Yeah, it's like I'm already like I'm a good guy. I'm a single dad.
I also don't want my daughter to.
I could talk about that and make
Yeah.
people feel like, oh, what a great guy he is.
Yeah.
But that energy is just like on
It's
stage
gross.
is disgusting.
Yeah.
To me. Like the other night I had a joke and I have a joke about like these gay dudes that get in a fight in West Hollywood, right? And some straight guy comes off, picks on him, they beat the shit out of him, voice changes, they twerk on his face after whatever. It's just a joke that I do. And
Yeah.
This lady in the crowd was like when I said that the gay dudes beat up the straight dude, she was like, yes, like that. And it made me so. The fact that she was agreeing with me like that made me so mad that I wanted to be like, you know what, the gay dudes died in the story. I wanted to say that just to make her not like. It just made me mad that she like was like, "That's you're good, yeah,
It's like,
yeah."
we're not
I
making
wanted
a
to be
mold.
like,
This is a joke.
dude. Fuck that energy, dude. Like I hate that feeling. Like I'm not here to like just look like a good I want to make you laugh and I want you to have a good time, no doubt, but it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like to me that emotion in comedy is gross.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And look, if you guys find like Hassan like super funny, that's fucking dope.
That's
right?
cool.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm just
like-
saying objectively, like he gets laugh from a crowd. I just look at it.
To be
try
honest with you,
object-
I've never seen him do stand up outside of his own specials after he did the Daily Show. So who the fuck really knows, right? Because now you have like your own crowds,
yeah.
right?
Look, yeah.
But I would like to see him go into a club
Yeah.
and make a joke. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like I said, it just sounds so stupid for me to even talk about this. I just didn't like the fact that he talked about real life people,
I know.
people that he knew that
Yeah,
were his,
right.
that
That's
were
where it gets
his
even
friends.
crazier. That's it.
He said "fuck you" to them,
Right.
did his own thing, and made him look better while he crushed his friends to the floor.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What's the problem? It's emotional truth. It happens." And I've spoken about this a lot too, just because like as I've gotten older, I've heard so many stories about like young women who have been sexually assaulted or whatever, whatnot. And how many times have we seen like these asshole dudes come up and these girls who actually had like traumatic experiences that happened to them, they go, is it even real? Is it even true? They immediately call them like they're fucking liars and shit, right? Well, imagine like those women were fucking lying and they go, well, it happens to other women.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
The problem is that you're profiting off of this thing that actually happens to real people,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So like if these women don't get a pass, right? He shouldn't get a fucking pass either.
Right.
Keep that same fucking energy. That's not fair to fucking women out there. I think
Yeah.
that's dumb. It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Well, it's just also completely unnecessary to do. Like you don't like he went out of his way completely to do that. Like
Yeah.
it was like why? It was like the Jesse Smollett shit. Like why?
Yeah,
would,
he's Jesse
like,
Smollett.
Why would you? Like
Because
why are you doing that? There's no need. You woke up today.
There's
didn't
no
have to do
need.
that.
There's no
Didn't
need,
have to
but
do
it
that.
evokes human emotions. Like people say Tupac was not maybe like a better lyricist, but because of the emotional thing, people gravitate towards that more. And a story that's more personal. And I think that he wanted that.
Sure, but
Yeah.
in comedy, the purpose is to make people laugh,
Right.
and if you're not using it to make people laugh,
I
then
know.
what's the point
I
at
know.
all?
To sell more.
It's even
to sell
fuck-
tickets because sometimes it's hard to sell tickets. And then for people to do a TED Talk, sometimes you do the you know. The things.
Yeah. But you got to make.
just say that you want to open for him already, dude.
I know.
Jesus
No, I'm
Christ,
just playing the
dude.
devil's advocate.
Jason's
Yeah.
best buds with him.
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Oh my
you're,
God.
you're an alien, dude.
No, man.
Inspirational.
I'm trying to
You're
make
inspirational,
devil's
dude.
Inspirational.
No, man.
dude. Inspirational. man.
No.
Give me your hand, dude.
No, that's not the thing.
No, I get it. Like I said,
Yeah.
you know, if you like his stuff, you like it. I'm just expressing how I feel about his
Yeah,
stuff.
same.
You know what I mean? And by the way, most of the time, like, you know,
Personally,
this-
it's not my favorite.
of course, personally, it's not most people's favorites. You know what I mean? For anybody who likes to laugh or, you know, want to have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, so
But
when have you ever heard another comic go like, dude, Hassan is fucking hilarious?
Right.
I haven't heard a single one. Not a one.
But on the same breath, it's like good for him. You know, it's a hard business to be successful in.
Yeah.
Happy he's making money. Good for him.
Yeah, it's too.
You know,
too
but yeah, you're right. I get it. It's like
Yeah.
I think
that's
it's really
why.
gross. You
I
know
just
what I'm saying?
any kind of pandering shit like that, I can't. I'm like, dude, it almost to me disrespectful to the art of comedy.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's just like, what are you doing?
It's just such a weird thing to have witnessed, and then for him to just not be like, yeah, of course, no shit. I was like, you're an unfunny person that just wants to be considered funny, and you've been that guy your whole life.
Yeah.
You were the guy that wanted to be the funny guy. Nobody laughed at your jokes, and just every day you just wanted to be that person, and so you found a way to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Right. And now you get exposed and you have nothing to say. And in his mind, he thinks it's okay. He goes, what's the problem? It's emotional truth. The fuck? That means it's not true.
Yeah.
You talk about emotional truth with your partner and how you feel. You're not real life people in real life fucking events, you
Yeah.
fucking asshole.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like there was a guy too that was, he talked about this whole story in the mosque where he got slammed onto a car or whatever, whatnot, because he made a couple of jokes. And there was a guy who was like a CIA agent that was fucking like incognito. That guy came out, he goes, I was in jail at the time. Like when he said this happened, I'd never met, what is he talking about? This never fucking happened. He goes, yeah, it didn't happen. It's like,
Damn.
the fuck are you doing,
Yeah.
man?
Right. So weird.
Yeah, it's like I said, the 9/11 guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, what if I told a story about me getting Asian hate crimed, or the time I got beat up. Well, I didn't get beat up, but David never got beat up. It was like the South Pass, that dude that fucking just randomly attacked me, right? But the whole point of that, there was no joke to it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it did happen. And the part that I embellished was me saying that when he grabbed my windbreaker, it sounded like he was a DJ at a fucking
Yeah.
club. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
yeah.
That was the joke.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it actually did happen. I
Yeah.
embellished the small, stupid things. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what most comics do, unless we're
Yeah.
talking about a stupid hypothetical scenario where Dave Chappelle's grabbing his dick and shooting that homeless person shooting cum in a subway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like clearly this is just for theatrics and it's funny.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? And if it turned out that it wasn't true, everybody's like, yeah, no shit, it's not true.
Yeah.
You
When
know?
even you can tell the difference, even like with the Steve Renazizi guy, like when they came out that the 9/11 story wasn't true, which is like it's same feeling where everyone was like, why would you lie about that?
Yeah.
But that guy seems like a dope dude because he just took it on the chin and he was like, you know what, I fucked up, I shouldn't have done that, caught up in a lie. He took the licks. His friends all made
Yeah.
fun of him. He's like, fuck it, all right, and now he's
Yeah.
back. Like he's like,
Yeah.
that's like what a guy that like. Because you can see, we're all humans. We can all make mistakes. You can lie and you feel the pressure, and he just rolled on with the lie. Shouldn't have done it, made a mistake, paid the price, they made fun of him, and now he seems like, okay, cool. Like, he's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, boom, 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 boom. But then to be like, it's just emotional, like double down and defend this position where it's like, no, dude, you're fucking wrong.
But
Like, you
some
shouldn't have done
people-
that shit.
Some people want to sacrifice like being truthful or authentic for money or position or, do you know what I mean? Whatever the thing is. And I think, not that it's okay or not okay, but I feel like some people, you have to sacrifice a thing.
What do you mean?
I sacrifice nothing. All right?
Yeah.
This is why
But do you know what I mean?
I am the biggest stand-up comic.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah. With some people, you have to sacrifice a thing because I feel like he is like a person that the industry loves.
Yeah.
Or did, or was still maybe later. But if you is the thing that industry love, then you have to kind of not say certain things because you're in the machine.
But you just gotta. Then it's like, why are you doing comedy? Are you doing it just to be like what's like? Why are you doing comedy? You know, like what?
I know, but people's want is different than the thing. I feel like sometimes I'm too on the other side. I don't want, but
yeah, but if you're just like, but that's gross, isn't it? Like just to be like a guy that just makes money for the machine.
It's not.
Like,
it doesn't feel good.
Isn't it kind of not? What
Yeah,
this
but
is
when
all
you
about?
have like a fucking 2 compound mansion thing, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
and then people's like, this is the best, and my people love me.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you get
If I
a
ever
bonus.
depends on what your
see
values
Hassan
are.
in the streets from a distance, those tomatoes I'm growing, I'm throwing in 100%.
They're organic.
Hey, he's so organic. Have a summer grape.
He'll probably lie about that too and say that they're GMO tomatoes. Some Asian man threw GMO tomatoes at me. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And like, you know what? Also, too, it's just like, there's like funny things that truth is funny.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
there's comedy in truth, right?
Sure.
And imagine if he did something small, like if he just went like, if he made that mosque story into a hypothetical and ended it with a joke, it still would have hit similar, right? Or it probably would have been even funnier, right?
Yeah.
But once again, he chose to do that because he wants to look like a victim and he wants to look really good.
That's what's gross.
And that's the gross part.
That's
right?
the gross part.
Because it's like you could have just made. I remember I was watching the Andrew Schultz. He was talking about making light jokes about it. Obviously, he was being very, very kind about it. But he was just like, "Your regular life is pretty insane. How come you couldn't just talk about your regular life?"
Yeah.
Right? Once again, because his regular life doesn't end with "feel bad for me."
Right.
I'm a good person. That's why. You know what I'm saying? So I think like you could, the terrible motive is there and we all see it. And a lot of people, it's not just us, right? Minus Jason because he's his best friend. You know? And then,
I'm
I'm
in the middle.
He's texting him right now, dude.
I'm in the middle.
Like, these fuckers are talking shit. Good fuck these fools.
Yeah,
huh?
I'm throwing a tomato at his stupid head. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what everybody else thinks in the comment. I mean, I already did a podcast on this, but I could talk about it all day.
Yeah, it's weird. It's some weird shit. Yeah. And it's not, the problem isn't embellishing or lying.
Yeah, it's about the
not
people.
problem.
I didn't even know that.
It's
yeah.
the problem.
I didn't even know enough to know the thing.
It's
honestly.
not just the people, but it's also the purpose behind it. Like, why are you doing that? Just to get brownie points? Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, man. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. You could catch Pat at Patricio_Riley and Jason Cheney at Jason Cheney. They're all doing stand up. Follow them, see what's happening in their stories, get the laughs, have the good times. Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. We'll see you all next time. Peace.